We have had a really amazing family summer. Sure, summer with 4 kids age 6 and under was a little crazy and exhausting, but it was also really magical. It was like one of those times where I was hyper aware that I was actually in the good old days as they were happening. But that being said, I am very dependent on the seasons that my year goes through, like how when I get to the end of winter, I'm really ready for spring, or how when fall starts to wind down, I get really anxious for the cozy season of winter. But it's not just the physical seasons, but the like figurative ones too. I am now honestly so ready for like the routine and schedule of back to school season to come. I'm just somebody who really excels with routines. And as I ease back into some of these routines and habits, I was thinking about how many of them are just these like little tiny things that often take maybe just a minute or two, but really make such a difference when they kind of compile on each other. I think that's what I really love about habits and routines. I feel like I say this all the time, but I find consistently in my life that good habits lead to good habits and bad habits lead to bad habits. And I don't really like labeling things as like good and bad, but it's just kind of an easy way to explain it. Like an example would be the more I lounge around or eat junk food or scroll my phone, the more I'm gonna do that. And the more I am productive and eat well and exercise and do my chores, the more I do that. And so that's why I always kind of preach little habits, because even though something might seem really small and insignificant in the moment, it's always just pushing the needle a little bit towards the direction of the life that you want to be in, or away from the direction of the life you don't want to be in. And so what I want to do is share with you some of these 1 to 2 minute habits that I do consistently to just kind of keep my needle pushed towards the life I want to lead. These are also habits that, because they are small and daily, they begin to sort of happen on autopilot throughout the day and the week, and that really helps reduce decision fatigue. I think that we can all agree sometimes just the endless decisions that we need to make when it comes to tending to our home can be really taxing. It's all these tiny little decisions, hundreds sometimes in an hour, it feels like. And so while these little habits might seem really silly or small or unimportant, they actually can be really significant in the big picture of how my day runs. And it's why I believe in the power of just 1 minute. Really quick, before we jump into the 1 minute habits, I want to thank the sponsor for today's video, which is Helix Sleep. We now have 2 of our 4 kids in big kid beds, and when I moved them into their big kid beds, I actually didn't really do any research on mattress. I just kind of bought whatever. And none of the ones that we got ever really worked out. We ended up having to replace them, and it felt honestly just really wasteful. And that is when I found Helix. What stood out right away is the flippable design. It is firmer for younger kids, and the other is softer as they get older. So instead of buying a new mattress every few years, you can just flip it. I also love that it's made with safe, hypoallergenic materials. The cover is breathable and treated with plant-based, water-repellent finish that reviewers say holds up really well against stains. And one of the most impressive things is that Helix is one of the most awarded mattress brands, and the Helix Kids mattress even won Sleep Foundation's best kids mattress overall in 2025. And since Helix offers a 100-day sleep trial, I felt really confident ordering a mattress online. This has been quite an upgrade for us compared to using the just whatever mattresses that we had bought for our kids in the past, and we honestly have been so impressed that we are even switching our mattress to a Helix mattress. It's one of those purchases that I feel really good about, and that I feel like I will feel really good about recommending, because it just works for the whole family. So if you are also looking to upgrade your kids' mattresses for back to school season, then Helix has you covered. You can visit helixsleep.com/thatpracticalmom to take advantage of their Labor Day sale exclusive partner offer with 27% off site-wide. Now let's dive into those habits. Okay, so the first one seems really generic, but hear me out, okay? So it's empty the dishwasher every morning when I wake up. And this is a habit that I have done for years. My husband has actually recently taken it over, because it turns out when you use little habits and routines that are super helpful and beneficial, eventually your spouse will catch on and want in on the action. Now, I know that technically emptying the dishwasher is not a 1 minute habit, but let me explain a little bit further. Emptying the dishwasher every morning is really key, because it makes it so you can be successful with other 1 minute habits throughout the day. Remember, when it comes to habits, it's all about how little habits can compound on each other to impact the greater scope of the day. So you empty the dishwasher in the morning. It might take a couple minutes, but it leads you to one of my favorite 1 minute habits, and that is to keep your kitchen sink clear. This is the idea that instead of putting something in the sink, just put it in the dishwasher instead. Now, if your dishwasher isn't emptied first thing in the morning, you're setting yourself up for failure from the beginning. So set yourself up for success, empty the dishwasher first thing in the morning, and then try to just keep the sink clear. Instead of putting something in the sink, just put it directly in the dishwasher. Now, as I mentioned, with 4 small kids, sometimes dish dishes do still pile up in the sink, but I still have set times throughout my day that subconsciously I'm clearing the sink. So I always clear it after breakfast. I always clear it after lunch. I always clear it after afternoon snack, before dinner, and then obviously after dinner. Clearing the sink multiple times throughout the day just prevents the buildup. It's visually more calming. It's more motivating to work in a kitchen where the sink is clean. And I think that we all just basically can agree that a kitchen feels more usable when the sink is not full of dishes. My next quick habit is to tend to dinner now. Sometimes this takes 1 minute, sometimes it's 5 minutes, but it's something like as simple as taking out food to thaw or throwing ingredients into the crock pot for dinner. I think many of us can relate to how feeding a family is kind of a pain point in our days. And it's one of those tasks to me that feels never ending. Sometimes I feel like as soon as I am done with one meal, it's time to like feed my family again. And when we're making 3 meals 7 days a week, that's 21 pain points every single week. And they kind of sneak up on us over and over and over again. And so I'm always trying to do something earlier in the day to make dinner time easier, because dinner historically, I think, is the hardest of those meal times throughout the day. It's the end of the day, you're tired, the kids are tired. It's kind of like the last push before you get to relax for the night. So maybe I'm chopping veggies, or I'm making sauce, or I'm pre-cooking my rice, whatever I can do at like 10 a.m. and then clean up so that I don't need to do it later. My next 1 minute habit is doing counter sweeps. I never stop being astounded at how quickly we can accumulate things on flat surfaces. And the problem is having stuff out in flat surfaces can just make a space feel a lot messier. There was a study done from Princeton University that found that clutter in our environment overwhelms our brain, making it harder to concentrate. And in the moment, a little pile might not seem like a big thing, but piles quickly build upon each other and start to impact your mind and your choices without you even really realizing it. Dr. Faith Coleman is a medical journalist who wrote an article that mess might seem like a small job, but it's actually taking up more space in your mind than you really think. They were quoted as saying, "When clutter is winning, mental health is losing." And I find that this is just such an easy win that you can literally do in 1 minute, and it's going to lead to more good choices. In just a minute or two, you can clear off clutter from a flat surface, priming your brain for a sense of accomplishment and control, setting a tone of order and making it easier for you to stay on track. The next 1 minute habit is to let it go. And what I mean here is the habit of taking 60 seconds to address clutter that needs to get out of your life or that you don't need. The thing is, our life is full of stuff. Even when we are conscious to be careful not to buy too much or to collect too much, stuff is always entering our homes. And the tricky part is, stuff can come into our house without us ever even trying, but in order for stuff to leave our home, we need to try. And I am the first one to tell you that I am not very good at math, but I do know that more in than less out equals more in. And this means that we need to be actively moving stuff out of our home at least an equal rate that it comes in. And so that's why I love the 1 minute habit of letting things go. We hold on to so many little odds and ends in our life because they end up in this kind of like weird gray zone. They end up in the gray zone because maybe they're going to be useful someday, right? Like a spare screwdriver, a random pile of screws, a gadget that you used and still feel is valuable. Your brain resists letting these things go because they offer value. You waste more time and space storing them, shuffling them, and thinking about them than they're actually worth. The other big gray zone category is things without an obvious home. So piles of paper, orphaned parts, half-finished projects. They linger around because of decision fatigue or responsibility guilt. They represent unfinished tasks that you've been putting off. On their own, these items feel really harmless, but together they quietly create clutter and mental weight. The fix is simple systems, typically that you can do in a minute or two. So first one would be just let it go. Do you really need this item? If you don't, but you worry that someday you might need it, could you just replace it when you do need it? Do you have duplicates of this? The more you do this habit, the better you get at it. It's sort of like flexing a muscle. Like, I'm pretty sure that I don't need to keep this item.
Wait, what are you doing?
Throwing you out?
Why are you doing that?
Because I have no idea what it is that you do.
You know, I'm that thing.
That thing?
That thing from that thing you had. You recognize me, right?
Yeah, I mean, you look vaguely familiar, but I'm not even sure what it is that you go to.
I'm just saying you're gonna regret this. In like 10 to 15 years, you're gonna need one of me.
I'm just saying it sounds kind of crazy to keep you. You've been sitting here for 3 months, and I have no idea what you even do.
What's crazy is talking to an inanimate object.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw you out. Another 1-minute habit you could do with these items is to give it a home or tend to it. So many items that we have stuck lingering actually don't take that much time to get taken care of, but they have just enough friction that we can't like autopilot put them away. But if you can say to yourself, okay, I have like 1 or 2 minutes, I can actually tend to this and take time to it, it's usually enough time to give it a home or to get it back to where it goes. Odds and ends trick us into thinking that they're neutral, like, oh, this is small, I'll just leave it there. But each one represents this like tiny open loop in your brain. And so the goal is to close those loops so that the mental clutter leaves with the physical clutter. My next 1-minute habit is take out the trash. Just take it out, okay? You're not a trash compactor. I don't know why it is that we seem to do this or why this one always comes up, but people always relate to it. For some reason, we just keep shoving trash down and down and down instead of taking it out. Literally taking out the trash takes 1 minute, 2 tops. We procrastinate taking out the trash because it's like a low reward, high hassle tasks. It's not fun, it's not glamorous, and the reward is just like a slightly emptier trash can. Since trash builds up gradually, it rarely feels like urgent until it's overflowing or it smells bad. And so our brain kind of just like pushes it to the bottom of the priority list. So a lot of us play the it can wait game. We think we can shove one more plate in or squish it down or wait until tomorrow, but girl, just take out the trash. Just do it. My next 1-minute habit is that I sort my laundry as I go. So this can happen a couple of ways, depending on if you are a load by day person or if you are somebody who does like a laundry marathon once a week. But one way you could do it is to sort your dirty clothes instead of your clean clothes. So I sort my laundry when it's dirty into specific baskets by kid and then by type. That way when I wash a load and it's done, I don't have to sort the clean stuff. The sorting's already done. Everything that's clean belongs to one person or one category. Another way is sorting it as it's clean. I take out my outfits for myself and my kids for the entire week as I put my laundry away to save myself time during the busy mornings. Just doing it at the time of putting away laundry removes one more step from having to do it later. My next habit is mini tidies. Honestly, I live and die by my mini tidies. They are the lifeblood that keep my home clean-ish. Clean-ish, kind of clean for the most part, you know what I mean? Considering there are small children constantly trying to undo the clean, it's cleanish. Mini tidies are just what they sound like. They are when you take 1 or 2 minutes and you just tidy something. Literally declutter a few things while the water boils at dinner. Wipe down the counter while you brush your teeth. Do a quick walk of the living room and grab something that doesn't belong and put it back. It is amazing at what you can do with 60 to 90 seconds. Never underestimate what you can do in 60 seconds. So often we assume that we need a chunk of time to clean or tidy, but you can do something in minutes. My next one is to take time to make time. No, my next one is to take time to make time. Take time to take time. I honestly don't know where my brain was going with that, but what I'm trying to say is schedule time to schedule. I don't know where time came in. Anyways, let me explain this one. I always share that when it comes to planning and scheduling and being productive, that you need to schedule time to schedule. If you are always feeling scattered, like you can never get things done on your to-do list, it's probably because you didn't take the time to sit down and actually plan your time. So personally, I spend about 20 minutes once a week planning out the week, but then every morning I take just a minute or two to go over that day, shift things if they need to, get a little more specific about how I'm going to time block my day, what needs to get done, what's top of the to-do list, how can I tackle it, where can I combine like items. It's just 1 or 2 minutes to touch base on your schedule and help ensure that you have a more productive day. And I'm telling you, it makes all of the difference when you schedule a little time to schedule. All right, my friends, that does it. Some of my favorite like 1 to 2 minute quick down and dirty habits that honestly make a world of difference. Never underestimate what you can do with a couple of minutes, especially when they compound on each other. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.